Yeah. Yes. I'm just trying to go live also on the other platforms. I'm going live on TikTok. The issues surrounding Dr. Alick Banda. Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda. Okay, and TikTok, what, yeah. You know, when you are sleeping, you wake up, you need to shake your head to remember even your passwords. Okay, I'm done. So first of all, I want to say thank you very much for a number of for some of my brothers, you know, in the church who called me. Some of them called me. Some of them, you know, sent me messages, and you know, we interacted. I think I've responded, unless there are only messages that came, you know, in the last 2 hours because I was sleeping. But I attended to all the messages that came to me, coming from my brothers and sisters, I would say, brothers and sisters in the Catholic Church. A number of them, you know, did reach out. I am very grateful. I think that is how it should be. That is the real fraternity, you know. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for your counsel. I'm grateful, you know, for the very fact that you took time, you know, to reach out to me on this issue. And it actually just explains to me. It actually just you know, explains to me how important this matter is to many of you who are in the Catholic faith. And I have no doubt that a number of the Catholic faithful are concerned with what is happening in Lusaka Diocese. I have no doubt, because you can't just imagine how many people have reached out to me. I am telling you. I mean, even some of the you know, my friends, you know, even those that I was with, you know, in the seminary, you know, it kind of brought on one hand, on one side, it brought some kind of you know, a reunion, you know, where people, yeah, I didn't know that some of you have been following my political activities, and you know, it was just good to see that, oh, this one, you know, is calling you, this one is texting and whatever. So I am humbled. I'm really humbled to note that many of you, I never thought that you know, you would be following me, and it has actually it has brought a sense of course, humility and responsibility. Even when I was thinking now to say, ish, so now what am I going to say? You know, how am I going to put this? You know, because I know that a lot of important people are watching this live, and I want to start by saying, please bear with me. I am not in any way trying to embarrass the Catholic Church, not at all. I am not in any way, at least from my judgment, trying to dilute our faith or compromise our faith. I am still a very devoted Catholic, and I wish there was another way that we could address these matters, but unfortunately I think this is the only way that, from my point of view, I can address this. One, yes, so I'm telling you that I am not doing this out of spite, you know, or to embarrass the Catholic Church, no. And I am not doing this because maybe my faith is shaken. No, I mean, my living out here since I left Zambia, and how I've been living here, has really been out of, you know, the grace of God, and of course the support from the church. I am telling you, I have received so much support from my church. Even up to today as I'm speaking, I have received so much support from the church. So I cannot turn against my church. I can't turn against my church. If there is one person that has really benefited so much from the Catholic Church, I think I am one of those people. And I'm very grateful. I am very grateful. So I would not want to destroy an institution or the church, you know, that has done so much for me. Even the education that I have, that many people appreciate. I think my education, the education that I can even boast of, is the education that I've received from the Catholic Church. So I am really a bona fide Catholic, and I would not want to embarrass my church. Now, on this matter, it is just that I don't have any other way that I can address this. I don't have any other way that I can address this. I'm trying to go on TikTok. Okay, because this phone was off. Excuse me for that. Excuse me for that. Let me just. Na issue pako tonight. I do this. Okay, yes, so now I think now we are live as well on TikTok, yeah. Okay, so now I'm live on TikTok as well. On TikTok as well. Yeah, so I'm saying that I don't, in my judgment, I have not seen any other way that I could address this, because firstly, I mean, this issue is in the public domain. This issue of, Dr. Alick Banda and the government confrontation is in the public domain. And I want to say that what has developed since yesterday, whereby a call out was sent, in my view, it is not something that just is happening now. This is something that has grown over time. This is something that has grown over time. This relationship between, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda and the government has been, fomenting from a long time. It has been fomenting from a long time. And now it's sort of like it has just busted out. It has busted out like a boil. Okay, yeah. Network, please. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. So yes, I was saying that this issue has been fermenting from a long time, and now it has reached a point where it has burst like a boil, and some people are now looking at just what has come out, whereby you are just looking at the symptoms, that have come out, but the disease has been there. That's been there for a long time. And from my perspective, I think, of course, there has been, actions from the Archbishop, against government, and government has also reacted in its own way. So it has been back and forth, and things have just been escalating. They have been escalating to where we are. I want to be honest to say, if Archbishop Alick Banda has not been so politically biased and confrontation to the government, I don't think what we have experienced today, or that call out, would have been there. I want to categorically say it from my perspective. If Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda of Lusaka Archdiocese had not been politically biased and confrontational with the government, I don't think we would have reached here. And I am saying Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been politically biased and confrontational with the government. And I'm not saying this, to despise Dr. Alick Banda or without evidence to back that up. No. There is substantial evidence to show that really Dr. Alick Banda has been politically biased. And some people have been saying, hey, but the Catholic Church has been, voicing out on a number of issues, whatever, they have been citing a number of instances. They have even gone back in the archives and brought out some of the statements which were done by other, archbishops, priests, and other people. They have gone and they have brought out this. This is the nature of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church must be able to speak on political matters, on national issues. Absolutely, yes. I agree. I agree that the Catholic Church should not sit back as passengers and watch things unfold in society. Where they need to intervene, they have to intervene. Our faith calls for us to be prophetic. It is part of our mission to engage governments, to speak on national matters. It is part of our prophetic faith to engage on these issues. So, even from my perspective, I am not in any way trying to say Dr. Alick Banda should not engage on national matters. He should, especially as a cosmopolitan archbishop. He should really, direct the faith, in a right way. When government goes the other way, he should engage those people in government when he sees that they are going in the wrong direction. They are implementing policies which are inimical or ultra-vires with the people. He must do that. He must do that, no doubt about it. But from my perspective, I don't think Dr. Alick Banda has been, pronouncing himself on the policies that government is making. From my perspective, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been overly political and confrontational. In some instances, quite emotional. I don't see, apart from the recent issue that had to do with the constitutional amendment, I don't see any other issue where I can say Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda was talking about this, or was advocating for this. It has been more of, rendering the government of President Hakainde Hichilema as a bad government, a government that is not democratic, a government that has performed so poorly, overly negative. Generally, from my perspective, I don't know from your point of view, I'm going to open phone lines and you might have to help me, to say, but look, he spoke on this, he spoke on this. Otherwise, the only issue which I can say, well, this is an issue of advocacy. It was the issue of the constitutional amendment. That was an issue because, on constitutional amendment, when the church feels that, the rules or the laws which are being introduced are not good, the church must be able to pronounce itself. So, apart from that, I don't. But even on that one, the emotions that went with that were not good. Instead of really providing that counsel as an archbishop, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda, it was more of, the aversion that he has against Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND government. That is how it came out. It was not about, this policy. Tell me, you people who are listening, if at all there was a Dr. Alick Banda I haven't opened phone line, please. I haven't opened phone line, so please don't call me now. Don't call me now. Don't call me now. Let me give my thoughts, and then I'll open the phone lines. So it was Dr. Alick Banda did not bring out, because what was supposed to happen, the government had specific clauses which they wanted to amend in our constitution. And what I would have expected was that if the church, and in this particular case, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda, had some issues with some of the proposals that government made, I expected him to respond specifically on those clauses, to say these clauses, we are against these clauses, and why we are against is this and that, outlining that. But did we see that? Because if you are talking about, checks and balances, if you're talking about advocacy, you don't just come out to say, no, you can't amend the constitution, don't amend the constitution, don't amend the constitution. When there are specific clauses which were laid out by government, they were very specific, 13 specific clauses. We didn't see Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda coming out with a counter, so that even some of us, I would have appreciated to read those counter proposals. I would have appreciated to see a paper that is responding to the specific clauses that government proposed. I would have appreciated that. Did we see that from Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda? No. Instead, it was, no, you can't amend the constitution. No, you are not being consultative. No, the court, this is illegal. But all these arguments, when you talk about consultative, government followed the due process in amending the constitution. We have got a process as a government, as a country, on how we amend the constitution. And this was followed by the government. Even when people rose, or put objections to this process, the president did actually halt the process. They halted the process to allow for more consultation, and this is how the technical committee came in. And out of that process, we had some of the clauses amended. Some of the clauses amended. When you look at the first proposal that came from government and what was subsequently approved as the law, there are changes. How did these changes come about? They came about because there was a technical committee that went round to collect views from people, and that is how those amendments were done. Did those amendments that came from the technical committee include proposals from the church? No. Did we see any proposal from Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda? No. But what we saw was an insistence to say, no, you can't go on with the process. And when government did everything that they could, at least from their perspective, and it was clear that the bill was going to Parliament, what did we see from Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda? It was a secular saying the presidency is playing with fire. And I quote his statement. Truth be told, the presidency is playing with fire. I mean, that is quite confrontational. That is quite confrontational. How does an archbishop, tell government to say, tell the presidency that you are playing with fire? What did he mean when he said you are playing with fire? This is not the only instance. This is not the only instance, by the way. Remember, we can go back. I'm talking about political bias. It has been very clear that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has always been on the side of the PF particularly. He has been on the side of the PF and other notable opposition political party leaders. In many instances, he has been the voice, not of the people on particular issues, but he has been the voice of the opposition, especially the Patriotic Front. He has been the voice. Whenever there is an issue, whenever there is an impasse between the government and the opposition, you can most undoubtedly know that Dr. Alick Banda will be on the side of the opposition. I'll take an example of, the 10th anniversary of the passing of our former president, Michael Chilufya. You remember there was an impasse there on the 10th anniversary. On the 10th anniversary, this is an anniversary which is commemorated in collaboration with the government and the family. The family and the government, they do organize that. And of course, because he was a politician, even the political party where he came from, also they play a part. So there was an impasse where government opted to go to our traditional church where we hold state functions in as far as religious activities are concerned, the Anglican. We are following, of course, the British rule. Since we were colonized by the British, state religious functions are usually held, in the Anglican church, and we have carried on that tradition. That tradition comes from our colonial masters, where if there is a state function, a religious state function is usually held in the Anglican, and many state religious functions have been held at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. That's why we go to the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. It is following the tradition that we have had. It is not just because this one decided what it has been there. Even during the time of Bakaunda, it is a Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Chiruba, it is the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Bonsefie, Mwanawasa, it is the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Sata, it is the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. Even Edgar Lungu himself, it has been the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. So this time we had a state function because the 10th anniversary of a former president, the death of a former president, is commemorated by the government. The government is involved. It is a state function. And Hakainde Hichilema followed the tradition, and these things have not been introduced by Hakainde Hichilema. No, these things have been there. Hakainde Hichilema found them. And so, government proposed that this state function be held at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. But what did the Patriotic Front do? The Patriotic Front, as a party, they said, no, we cannot hold this state function at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. They refused. And they didn't even want Hakainde Hichilema to be part of that function. The family compromised. The family said, well, we need to do this together. We need to do this together with government. The family agreed with the government. They agreed, they compromised with the government. But the Patriotic Front refused. They refused. Just like they are doing on the funeral of Edgar Chagwalungu. They refused. No, we can't go there. We are going to hold our service elsewhere. So there was that impasse. And Dr. Alick Banda appeared on the scene. He appeared on the scene that no, he will celebrate the memorial for the Patriotic Front in the Cathedral of what do we call now our cathedral? You know, at Pop Square. That is where we are going to have the memorial. So there was that division. And the Archbishop, instead of helping these two sides, okay, instead of helping them to harmonize them, I'm trying to be very, very careful in the words that I'm using, you know, because I mean, we are talking about an archbishop here. But he just frowned upon government and said, we are going to have it, you know, at Pop Square. He sided with a political party called PF. And Edgar Lungu was supposed to be in attendance, by the way. Edgar Lungu was supposed to be in attendance on that memorial. And of course, there was a reaction from government. There was a reaction from the government. What did they do? They surrounded Pop Square. They surrounded our cathedral, the Catholic cathedral in Lusaka. They surrounded it, saying, no, you cannot pray here. You have to go to the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. And we all remember that tussle. We all remember those ugly scenes of the police. But surely, if you look at it from my perspective, Dr. Alick Banda, you know, became politically biased by siding with one side against the other. In this instance, from my perspective, I think a judgment, a better judgment would have been descended, other than, you know, going ahead and having another service with the Patriotic Front. And the main celebrant was the Archbishop himself. So surely, my brothers and sisters, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Is this the best way that we can handle national matters? Is this the best way that our Archbishop can conduct himself? As if that was not enough, after everything, there was an open letter that was written to the president. There was an open letter that was written to the president. And if you can remember that that letter, I think I want to read it. I want to read that. I want to read part of that letter. I want to read part of that letter. Let me just get that, because I don't want people to think that no, Tayali is turning against the church. No, Tayali is speaking for a freedom. No, I'm just being objective here. I'm just being objective here. Of course, I'm a politician at the same time. That is a fact. Sorry for that. Yeah, I want to read part of the letter that and it was an open letter, by the way. It was an open letter that was written, you know, It was an open letter. Now, it's pretty small. I'm reading from but anyway, I can try to read that. Ish. This is how much I've grown also. I think the letter was the secular. This letter was written on what date? What's the date here? 28th October 2024. This is when this secular was released. And I'll just read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. You know, the first paragraph, just to, it is with utter shock and dismay that we write this open letter to protest over the state's conduct of unilaterally and forcibly condoning of the Cathedral of the Child Jesus on the 28th of October 2024 at the occasion of honoring the legacy of the fifth Republican President of Zambia, His Excellency Michael Chilufya-Sata. May he so rest in peace. We wish to bring to your attention this serious mischief on the part of government aimed at intimidation by way of abuse of the instrument of state violence. This act is an infringement on the fundamental right of worship. This is the first paragraph. Of course, there is a second paragraph and third paragraph. Now, listen to the last paragraph, the conclusion of this letter. It was an open letter to the presidency. And this is how it reads. Your Excellency, we wish to express our concerns with the heavy-handed approach which we witnessed today and utter disrespect shown to a sacred premises. We feel that there is a systematic and coordinated violation of human rights by the police who have been turned, listen to that, I will repeat that. We feel that there is a systematic and coordinated violation of human rights by the police who have been turned into a wing and extension of the UPND party. Now, as much as that a situation of the presence of the police at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus was not a good action by the government, but now this statement, look how our Archbishop is going into politics. Okay? Firstly, he took a side. He took a side of the Patriotic Front. Next, he's now accusing the police. Okay? He's now accusing the police and he's saying, who have become a wing and an extension of the UPND party. Now, surely from my little understanding of things, I mean, you can criticize the government, but when you start talking like this, you are being political now here. Why bring in the UPND? Why not, criticize the action of the police and leave it there? Instead of bringing in a political party. Political bias. But listen, I've said that sometimes emotive. Listen to how this open letter continues. The harassment and the arbitrary arrest of citizens and the prolonged prolonged detentions of citizens who provide checks and balances, to this government has become the norm. The norm of the day rather than an exception. Now, look, Dr. Alick Banda has moved away from the issue of, the police presence at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. He has gone into politics, talking about the UPND, and now he's talking about, the detention and the prolonged detention, the arbitrary arrests. Now, from my perspective, I would appreciate this kind of advocacy if it is very specific. Because when you're talking about long detention, you must be able to talk about who are those people who are being detained, without the due process being followed. You must be specific. I'm not saying that these things are not happening, no, because I am a subject, I am a victim of prolonged detention. Okay, but much as I am a victim of prolonged detention and the police harassment and violence, much as I am a victim of this, I would not be excited by this kind of statement coming from the Archbishop, because the Archbishop is going out of context. He is being emotive. I would appreciate if in the instances where there is the prolonged detention and he comes out to say, why are you keeping this such and such a person? And giving the reasons why he believes that, these people are being, human rights are being abused by the police. Than to bring it out when there is this tussle between the ruling party and the opposition. And you just throw it to say, those who are opposing, who are those? Who are those? You need to be specific. Who are those? Because, in my view, for me, I have been detained a number of times. I was detained a number of times. I never heard my Archbishop talk about me. Not even one day. You people who are watching, you are witnesses to this. And in a number of times that I was arrested, really, I did not commit a crime. I never heard Archbishop coming in and talk about my detention. But yes, we have seen him in a cassock, when certain political leaders are arrested. When certain political leaders are arrested, some of these political leaders, they have not even been detained longer than necessary, no. But immediately some of these political leaders are arrested, you see Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda appearing at the police station to show solidarity to some of these political parties. This shows biasness. This shows biasness, and I am glad I'm not taking, it's not that I'm saying this because maybe I feel that he should have also come to me. No. I remember I even addressed this to say, well, he may have a certain relationship with some of these people. That's why he's going there. I did say that. I didn't take an offense, and I'm not talking about this because because I'm upset that the Archbishop did not come to see me. No. Because I'm not the only one that has been arrested as a politician. There are a number of politicians that have been arrested. And we didn't see Dr. Alick Banda going to visit them. But for certain specific individuals, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda is not too far or not too busy to go and show solidarity with those people. That is being politically biased. That is being politically biased. Remove me out of the equation. You can talk about other politicians. I don't want to mention names to say this one and that one. But there are a number of politicians. And okay, fine. Maybe now Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda he has now found an opportunity to respond. But this is at a wrong time. This is emotive. This is emotive. Why issue a statement, at this point in time, when there is a conflict between the ruling party and the opposition? Why take this opportunity as a time for you to bring out or to castigate government on human rights abuse? I am not saying that government is innocent. No. I am just saying that if we have to criticize government, we have to show that we are objective, that we are not politically biased, especially coming from an archbishop of a cosmopolitan archdiocese. This is the issue that I want you to appreciate. And this letter actually goes on, in a manner that really, it says, I'm continuing from where I was reading. It says, in a word, therefore, we are convinced that this government has become rogue. In a word, and therefore, in a word, therefore, we are convinced that this government has become rogue. Mwevantu, let's be honest. We read, especially as Catholics, we have been reading seculars, letters coming from the church. Is this the language that comes from the shepherds of Jesus Christ? No. The Archbishop has been quite confrontational, politically confrontational. This government has become rogue. It is quite emotive. You can clearly see that the Archbishop was very upset about the presence of the police, but he did not appreciate the conflict that arose, which led to the police presence at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. I'm not saying it was right. No, I condemned it even then. I condemned it. It was a bad reaction from government. It was a bad reaction from government because government should not, stop people from praying, even if the reason is wrong, in this particular case, they sided with one party. Government shouldn't have come in to stop them. They should have allowed them to do that. But the reaction, the letter that is coming from the Archbishop, again, it is not a fraternal correction as we call it in the church. This does not promote peace. This exacerbates conflicts. From there, so this scenario, from there, we had another instance. I'm giving examples where I feel that this issue, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has compromised himself or has brought about whatever is happening to him by his conduct. From there, we had the issue of the Edgar Lungu state funeral, where government said, we must have a state funeral. Let's have a state funeral. Let's bury our Edgar Lungu in Zambia, like we have done all other leaders. There was that impasse, which is still there today. And the family came up with the issues of, no, the former president was not treated properly. No, the former president was denied access to medical facility. The Edgar Lungu story. The whole funeral was shrouded in political confrontation and division. And in this instance, knowing that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda was a very close friend to the former head of state, Edgar Chagwa, you would have expected that he would have been a protagonist, or he would have been a mediator that would have brought about consensus. But did Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda engage in any negotiation? No, he didn't. Instead, he was busy sending priests to South Africa to go and celebrate Mass, to go and prepare his way, like John went ahead of Jesus Christ, so that he can come in the grand style and celebrate Mass in South Africa before the burial of the former president in South Africa. Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda clearly, once again, showed a side. He took a side of the patriotic front, of the family. Yes. And in this instance, I'm not speaking, you know, from what has been happening in the courts and whatever. No. I'm speaking just from a human point of view. Yes, the family has a right to this person, to the deceased. But the government also was representing the interest of other Zambians. It was not about Hakainde Hichilema. It was about the interest of the Zambian people. The so-called public interest. Government was trying to sustain or preserve public interest. And Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda was supposed to come in and help so that we can converge at some point as a country. But Dr. Alick Banda just went this way. He was sending priests to go and celebrate Mass in South Africa, and he subsequently went there on what was supposed to be the last day. Honestly, is that how an archbishop is supposed to conduct himself? No. The family has insisted in what I can call, you know, being vindictive. Because you did this, because you did this, because you did this. And as a Catholic Church, from my little understanding from my faith, that we emphasize forgiveness without condition. I strongly believe that from our point of view as Catholic Church, we look at Jesus Christ's forgiveness, where he even forgave a sinner that was crucified with him. He's about to die and he shows mercy. Even his last breath, he said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Those who beat him brutally, those who nailed him on the cross, he came out and said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. That is the faith that I've learned in the Catholic Church. That is why, I mean, a lot of you would agree with me that it is rare that I pick offense to people that say negative things about me. It is rare. I just brush it off. I forgive. That is why even some of you are saying, hey, but you are out there. Hey, but you are in exile. Hey, why are you supporting Hakainde Hichilema? I've lost everything. I have lost everything. Like right now, I have lost everything. The trouble that I'm going through is far beyond the imagination of people that have not been in my situation. Far beyond the imagination. What I suffer, what I've suffered as a result of being out of my country. You can only understand it when you go through it. Don't see me like this. I go through a lot of problems. I stayed for a long time without, being with my wife and my children. I've lost everything. I've nothing. I've nothing. I mean, it's very bad. But being a Catholic, being a man of faith, I say no. I should not hold bitterness. I should not hold bitterness. I should be able to forgive and move on. And this is why you see me, in spite of my situation, I speak positively of my country. I speak positively of my government. I speak positively of Hakainde Hichilema. I will not criticize Hakainde Hichilema because, no, I've been treated this way. No. If there is something wrong, I do, even here, I do admonish the government. It is just recently when a Minister of Information, Cornelius Mweto, said something against the auxiliary bishop of Chipata. It is recent when I was admonishing him, because the bishop of the auxiliary bishop of Chipata was very specific. He was talking about certain issues that have not been done in Chipata. And the Minister of Information came out, gun blazing against the bishop. And I came to defend him, to say, no, he's right to talk about these issues. Because his issues were specific. His issues were not political. It is not about, no, Hakainde Hichilema. No, they were real issues that he spoke about. And I admonished the government. I did it here. Not too long ago. So on a specific issue, I will respond specifically and, give my views on that issue. But not out of bitterness. Not because, no. Because I want to exude my Catholic faith, which emphasizes reconciliation. Before we start Mass, when we go to church, the first thing that we do is the sign of cross in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. The next thing is about reconciliation. That is the next thing. That is how important reconciliation is in our Catholic Church. And I would have expected that an archbishop would emphasize this in an impasse like the one that we are having. But instead, our archbishop has been like number 3. Because the first one is the widow, Va Esther Lungu. Number 2 is Makebi Zulu. After Makebi Zulu, it's Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda. On this side, against the government. So, these issues really, I've just cited a number of them. On the constitution itself, instead of really bringing out the issues that he was not happy, it was the presidency playing with fire. And later on, the activities of Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been more of with the politicians than his pastoral work. You see him more pronounced, meeting, fraternizing, shaking hands, taking pictures with the opposition. Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has got no kind words, nothing positive on the UPND government, nothing positive on President Hakainde Hichilema. Now, surely, even if this government is bad, even if this president is bad, surely there is nothing positive that Archbishop Alick Banda can see, can talk about? Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has poised himself as a kingmaker now. He has poised himself as a kingmaker now. It is common knowledge that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda is working against the UPND government and President Hakainde Hichilema. It is very clear that his desire is to see Hakainde Hichilema voted out of power. It is clear that his all energies on national matters is to see UPND out of government. Now, when you do that, you can't tell me that you are advocating for people. No. You are a political player. You are a political player. Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has become a political player. And when you become a political player, unfortunately, politics follows you. When you become a political player, I'm telling you, it's dancing with the pigs. It's dancing with the pigs. You go in the mud. That's what it is. Politics is not kind. Politics is not kind. This is what fortifies me. This is what keeps me sane. Because I've realized to say whatever I'm going through, it's politics. It's politics. This is what makes me, tick and, move. Because I've accepted it that in politics, politics, they are everywhere, anywhere in the world, politics, they are anywhere. And even in church, there are politics. Even in church, there are politics. We can't run away from that fact. Even in church, we elect leaders. In church, we elect leaders. Even in church, there is campaign. Even in church, there are revolts. And what happened to those in the Catholic Church itself? If you revolt against the leadership, especially when you are in a position of influence, what happens? What happens? In the church, we talk about, obedience to the Pope. That's what we talk about. Of course, even us as faithfuls, that is what we somehow follow. Many of the Catholic people, they have been busy. So a lot of them have been agreeing with me. They have been sending to say, oh no, it's true. Oh, no, how we are wondering what is Vatican doing about this. What? A lot of them, they can't come out and talk. Why? Because, it is, that is how it is. That is how we manage things. That is how the structures of the church are preserved. I was kicked out of the seminary because of being, negative. Because being overly, because of being critical to the leadership. That's why I was kicked out. And unfortunately, I'm doing it now. Unfortunately, that is just my nature. That is just my nature. I hope I'm not excommunicated now. Because I was kicked out of the seminary of being critical. Now, next, I hope I will not be excommunicated. But nonetheless, God will never excommunicate me. God will never excommunicate me. God will never throw me out. Never. So that's why, I can say this with my conscience clear, knowing that the love of God does not stop me from expressing myself as long as my conscience is clear. But even in the church, what I'm saying is that even in the church, there is a way that you have to behave. If you come out like the middle finger, even in the church, you are checked. You are checked. You are checked. So what about the politics that we have? The civil politics. It is brutal there. It is brutal. When you threaten those in power and you are coming out emotive, you are daring them, you are playing with fire. What do you expect? What do you expect when you start coming out to say you have become rogue? You are playing with fire. Eh? What do you expect? What do you expect? Eh? We are not saying we shouldn't speak about national matters. We should. But we need to be very careful, especially when you are a man of God. You need to be very careful. I don't expect Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda to cheat government the same way that I do, or any other politician. I don't expect that. There must be a difference. There must be a difference. The demeanor, the language, it should exude sobriety, not confrontation. What now, no politician? No. Eh? No. Anywhere in the world it happens like that. Anywhere in the world. The attitude of Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda towards President Hakainde Hichilema and the government has been highly political and quite emotive. Quite emotive. Exhibited by the language that he uses when he communicates. No. So with this kind of thing now, when you start playing with politics and you start daring those in politics, they will find a way. They will respond with whatever they have. That is the unfortunate part about politics. When you dare those in power, they also look for ammunition against you. And this is where now you see to say, this person is talking too much. By the way, he received this donation. How did this donation come about? Eh? He received this car? And this car did not come out properly from ZRA. So they throw this car thing. If Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda was, counseling government, engaging government in a manner that is fraternal, is brotherly, I don't think we would have seen this call out. I don't think it would have come out. I don't think. Because, truth be told, I don't think Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they are so ruthless or they are so rogue, using the words of the Archbishop, that they would not want to respect the Archbishop. I don't think so. They are doing this owing to how Dr. Alick Banda himself has been taking them. He has been daring them. He has been embarrassing them. When they are busy negotiating with the family, him is going to South Africa to celebrate Mass. These things are an affront on the government. Especially when you even write letters, open letters to the president. Why not write this letter to the president without putting it in the media? Why not do that? Why not do that? Why is it that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda likes, to bring things to the media? Why? Why does he always, when there is an issue with government, he splashes in the media? Why? Even this call out is sent to him, and it is thrown on social media, because that call out went to him. But today, the call out is all over on social media. What is he trying to achieve? Why? So that his political friends can start commenting, can start demonizing the government. And indeed they are doing it. So that, his political friends can organize people to escort him to deck. Like they are saying. They're saying, no, we have to escort him. Hey, we have to escort him. We have to escort him. Now, is this how Jesus Christ reacted even to persecution? Let's imagine if this is persecution. Look how Jesus reacted to persecution. When Jesus knew that he was going to go through the passion, He knew before. He knew before. If you read, the Gospel of John, which clearly, brings out the incidences of Jesus Christ's passion. The Gospel of John, starting, in chapter 22, going forward, you see Jesus Christ celebrating, the Last Supper. And he knows that people are cooking things there. They're about to arrest him. He knows. He knows. He knew. He didn't even tell the disciples to say, this is what is going to happen immediately. And we see that because, the disciples are busy discussing who is the greatest, who is the greatest, who is the greatest. And yet Jesus Christ knew that, I'm about to face the cross. And he tells them to say, hey, you guys, who is ready to drink the cup that I'm about to drink? And look at the response of Peter. No, nothing is going to happen to you. Don't worry, we are going to defend you. What does Jesus say? Get behind me, Satan. Because Jesus Christ's advocacy was genuine. Jesus Christ's advocacy was not political. But on the contrary, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda, he's trying to gather people to go with him. To go with him to deck. Because, in my view, he thinks like a politician. It is about politics. It is about embarrassing the government that is in power. Why leak the call out? Why leak the call out? Eh? And the response from the Vicar General, Andrew Simpasa, it's also another, to say the wild boar that has strayed into the vineyard. Is this the language that our church leaders are going to be using when addressing government? Are we going to achieve anything if we take this kind of approach? Surely, I am a politician and I can express myself in a certain way. But when it comes to church leaders, I think sobriety must be exuded. So, all this has happened as a result of how Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda of Lusaka Archdiocese has been conducting himself. He has taken a political stance. He has taken a political bias, confronting those in power, particularly President Hakainde Hichilema. He has clearly shown to him, President Hakainde Hichilema is not fit to be president. And his relationship with the former head of state clearly shows that, he has not been happy that Edgar Lungu lost power. Clearly shows that he has not been happy. And I think maybe the Archbishop is still, in that situation where he's missing the presence of Edgar Chagwalungu. He's not happy with this guy that has taken over. And when the issues of donations come in, vehicles come in, you say, no wonder he was benefiting from the previous government. And he's not benefiting from this government. So he wants these guys to go so that he can install other people where he can be benefiting. And hence, you see his fraternity with other opposition. Because clearly, he has poised himself like a kingmaker. He has poised himself as a kingmaker. And some of these things I know, except that they are confidential, I cannot bring them up. But I'm sure Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda, wherever he's sitting, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. Even some of these senior leaders in PF, they know what I'm talking about. It is not something that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda can even dare me on. I'm telling you. And if you think that I'm not respecting my church, I'm respecting my church because some of this information I'm holding back. I'm telling you, I'm looking into this camera. I'm telling you to say, some of the information I'm holding back as one of the inner circles of Edgar Lungu and the PF and some of the candidates. I know. But I'm not going to go into that. But I think it is time that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda changed his attitude. I'm sure, this is my perspective, and I say this, as a citizen, as a politician. Even if I were the president, I don't think I would tolerate how Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been covertly playing politics. No, I don't think I would accept it. I don't think I would. And I don't think any politician would. Any politician, wherever, even in the developed world, you would see them coming up with these kind of issues. And talking about this car, I said it. Some of you have been trying to justify this. Whatever. Look, when these things came out in public, why didn't Dr. Alick Banda come out with a statement explaining to say, like somebody was trying to say, that no, this vehicle was given to him by a Catholic faithful who works for ZRA? Why not come out and explain this? Why not come and explain this? This thing has been in public domain from a long time. And I did actually advise to say, let the Archbishop come out and make a statement out of this. But he has been quiet. Why being quiet if, this thing was proper? Why being quiet? He should have come out and explained. Some people are saying, no, he didn't know that it was from ZRA. Who changed the name from ZRA because the vehicle was owned by a government institution? Who changed the name, the ownership of that vehicle into his name? But all these things would have been cleared. The circumstances under which he was given that vehicle and how this vehicle was being used and why he registered it in his name. Because much as, yes, Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda is a diocesan, meaning that he can own property, the priesthood I aspired before, you couldn't own any property. And I want to believe that mostly the people that are in the church, whatever they have belongs to the church. So this issue of having vehicles in your name, I find it strange. But anyway, it is not that it is illegal. But nonetheless, there would have been clarification on how this vehicle was donated to him, how this vehicle was changed in his name, and what was the use of this vehicle. This should have come. Why didn't it come before? He has been quiet. And now the government has a vehicle which is in his name. When government seizes something from you, it doesn't automatically mean that that thing has been forfeited to government. There is a difference you have to understand. Seizing a property and forfeiting a property, there are two different things. So a vehicle in the name of Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda was seized from him. Government is holding on to that vehicle. but it is in his name. Now, what should government do with that vehicle? When Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda himself is quiet about it, he has not even said anything. What do you think government is supposed to do with that vehicle? They seized it. They have not forfeited it. They seized it. So how will government proceed with that vehicle? Tell me. You people who are arguing, you people who are saying, no, this is persecution. Tell me, how will government deal with this vehicle? They seized the vehicle because the record shows that this vehicle belonged to ZRA. And they believe that this vehicle was not properly appropriated to Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda. And they have seized it because they believe this vehicle is supposed to be with ZRA. Now it is his name. Now, the Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda is quiet. He hasn't said anything. How do you think government is going to proceed? There is no any other way but summoning him so that he can explain. And at the end of the day, government will make a decision as to whether there are possibilities, as to whether to simply say, well, okay, so this is what happened. No, Archbishop, you can go back with the vehicle. That is one possibility. Out of that call out, there is a possibility that if he goes there and he explains himself properly, this is what happened, what, there is a possibility that government will simply say, that's what happened. Here is the vehicle, go back with it. That's one possibility. Another possibility, they will be like, Archbishop, this vehicle, it is as good as being stolen from ZRA. And you received it. And according to our laws, receiving stolen property is a crime. Let's go to court. There is a possibility. That is another possibility. That is another possibility. Another possibility is simply Archbishop himself to say, no, I'm not interested in this vehicle now, you can take it back or whatever. There is a way. It's not that this is as bad. No. This is as bad. No. One thing is that government is holding on to a property which is in his name. And according to our laws, there is no way government is simply going to change the name and say, now we have seized this vehicle. We are going to change the name. We are taking it back to ZRA. They can't do that. They can't. They can't. A property to be forfeited, it has to go through the courts. It has to go through the courts. It has to go through the courts unless there is a discussion. Unless there is a discussion whereby, okay, this is the way we will go. This is why you have seen sometimes people who have been caught with stolen property or money. There have been discussions whereby, no, you know what we are going to do? Okay, what we are going to do, just bring that. Bring what you got. And we will not prosecute you. There are a number of those cases. We will not prosecute you. We will not go to court. We will not go to court. But this comes out of discussion. This comes out of discussion. But in other cases, they have said, no, we are going to court. We are going to prosecute. It comes out of a discussion. Now, this discussion, it depends on how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself, with pride, as if, me, I'm the Archbishop of Lusaka, you are going to see. You start splashing, your call out in public. And your political friends start making statements. No, we are standing with Archbishop. We are standing with Archbishop. We are going to escort him on Monday. Aleni. Go ahead. And let's see. if you will, if you can, how far you are going to go to protect him. Because you end up finding yourself inside yourselves as well. Remember, Public Order Act, unlawful assembly is very easy. It's very easy. Unlawful assembly. You don't have to be 100 people, no. Just 10 people, you can be all cornered as unlawful assembly. So this is, and these things happen. When you are in politics, these things happen. So you need to be very careful when you are playing with politicians, when you are playing with people with executive powers. You need to be careful. You need to be humble. You need to be humble. Not to be arrogant. Not to be arrogant. This matter can be resolved nicely without all this hula baloo. But if you carry yourself in a certain way, with pomposity, they will say, okay, let's go with it. Let's go with it. At the end of the day, you will find the Archbishop being lying to take plea in the magistrate. And it's just that. Surely, any level-headed Archbishop, any level-headed church leader would try to engage to avoid this kind of embarrassment. Like one of my priest friends said that you cannot separate, the position or the ordination of an archbishop from the individual. And I agree with him. I agree with him. It will not be just Alick Banda standing in the dock at Lusaka Magistrate, answering charges on receiving proceeds of crime. It will not just be Alick Banda. It will be the Archbishop of Lusaka. And we can't separate that. And that is embarrassing enough. And therefore, when you are handling these matters, you need to discern properly. You don't just come out, the Vicar General, Father Andrew, you don't just come out, the wild boar has strayed into the vineyard. No, you don't come out like that. You need to approach these matters with wisdom. You need discernment. Not just, trying to play politics, trying to play to the public gallery. You are embarrassing the church. You are embarrassing the church. You are embarrassing the church, I'm telling you. An archbishop to be at the magistrate. Guys. And you think you are going to intimidate government. Just like Anderson Banda said. He said, you splash it on social media. So what? We will still be waiting for you. So what? We will still be waiting for you. Those people that are talking, no, we are going to escort him. What? Who are you? Who are you? Bafred Membe, who are you? I know he's your friend. I know he has been coming to you. He has been coming when you are arrested. I know. But be responsible. Be responsible. What you are showing is not responsibility. You're just going to embarrass this man. Who are you, Bafred Membe? Who are you? Who are you? You yourself, Bafred Membe. You have got cases. You have got cases. Who has protected you? How did it help you? You are in court. Archbishop Alick Banda came to see you. How did it help you? You are still in court. And eventually you might even be jailed. So, what is this flexing the mass of all? Who are you flexing the mass of all? Who are you trying to intimidate? Wisdom. Wisdom. Discernment. Discernment sometimes kuichefya. We don't want to follow Muturifipuba. Don't think some of us we are fools. No, we are not fools. You see, you weigh the situation and you see, where am I? Who am I? And you continue, you are playing fire. Hey, Akainde my president. Hakainde is president, and he has said it. I don't like to be confronted. I don't like to be confronted. He even said it. There is a video. You don't look around. He doesn't like to be confronted. And he's right. He's the head of state. We must give him respect. We must give him respect, and we must give him chance to rule. We cannot every day be intimidating him. Hey, you are a bad leader. What? How is he going to rule? How is he going to rule? Eh? On the other hand, you are saying, no, Tayali, don't talk about the Archbishop. Imo, you don't want to be discussed. But Imo, you want to be discussing your friend every day in the bad light. Eh? You are even declaring that you are going to campaign against him so that he loses power. What do you think? And then you think he himself, he is the one that is just going to be saying, no, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Eh? Eh? You are failing to sit and reflect. Eh? You are busy out of the church and confronting, but you want Hakainde Hichilema to start praying. Guys, anyway, this is my submission. I'm opening phone lines. Others can come in and say something on this matter. I'm opening phone lines. A number of you, you know the phone lines. You know the phone number. You know the phone number. A number of you know it. Hello? Hello?
President Tayali, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes. Catching the fairway now. Okay. Anyway, just to contribute. First of all, I agree with you that no one is above the law, President Tayali. Whether no one is above the law. And I think I saw you with a picture of the late Bishop Dennis Diong.
Yes.
Yes, but Diong barerangira kwa abantu. He was even criticizing the government.
Yes.
Apart from what Diong, when Banda became a bishop, Bishop Alick Banda, by then he was the Bishop of Sorority Diocese. The day of his installation as a Bishop of Sorority Diocese, the late President Mwanawasa, may he so rest in peace, he attended his installation. And by then also Alick Banda criticized the MMD in presence of Mwanawasa. The Bishop of Lusaka Emeritus. He was criticizing the PF day and night, and he was attending the function of the UPND. The record is there and the videos are there. And we have, apart from UPND, we have seen Alick Banda and other priests, even Baba Frank Wadia, by the time he was active in the ministry, he was criticizing the MMD. I think you have, my brother, you have been in the seminary before, and you know the teaching of the church to say, kwali wa church no wamkutura urumtu wachika watwala ovunga, watwala soti, wature fi. I'm sure mpati bitepsha tushobunga obufunisha kwisi. Yes.
Get to the point.
Okay, so upon the land of your quick. Anyway, we saw the issue about this one former Commissioner General of the ZRA having wicked a long time ago. But I'm wondering why the UPND and the Ndaka Indechema, they didn't summon immediately Bishop Alick Banda. For me, what I'll say, this issue is political. And for me, it's a long timing for the UPND. We are in 2026. We are remaining with 6 months to the polls. This is the time where UPND to bring peace among the churches. Ukuleta pamwama kreji, not in share what Mwambukula Tonsana like Shanmo. I think for me it's a long time at this particular time, it's a long time this is not the time for the UPN to waste this time, but it's a time to organize this thing. Because and I appreciate you, President Tayali, you are one of the people who have been preaching to unite the country. So this is the time I think the UPN they would have used it. Change pamo. No, if you want to remain in power, to bring those things in.
My brother,
if you pay attention
my
to
brother,
Alick Banda,
my brother. I'll be very straight with you. You are being biased.
Yeah.
Why am I saying you are being biased?
Okay.
You have mentioned people that were, criticizing government before. I have labored in this program to explain that Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been politically biased and quite emotive, using strong language. Okay? That is very clear. And I wish you would defend him on that. Archbishop Alick Banda, my issue is that he has aligned himself to the opposition, especially the Patriotic Front. All these other people, even all these other people that have been talking, especially when you mention my bishop, Dijon, it was not about the political party. It was not about the leader. It was about causes. It was about causes. They were defending causes. They were advocating for the voice of the voiceless. But Archbishop Alick Banda, it has been a confrontation directly on Hakainde Hichilema and his leadership. A general view, discrediting his government and using very strong language. You are talking about, no, the UPND must be uniting. Who should have that primary responsibility? Who has that primary responsibility before Hakainde Hichilema and the Dijon and the Archbishop Alick Banda? I think Archbishop Alick Banda is the one that should be in the forefront. But like in the instances that I've pointed to, particularly the issue of Edgar Lungu, has Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda been uniting the country? There is an impasse. There is an impasse. And he goes to South Africa to go and celebrate so that they bury. I mean, is that the way you preach unity? Saying the president, to say the presidency is playing with fire. Is that preaching unity? This year is a year of elections. This year is a year of elections. And Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has clearly shown that he wants to campaign against the UPND. How do you expect the UPND to react?
Okay, President, no, now, so does it mean since Alick Banda, we have never seen him in any political regard, so we cannot accuse him.
Okay, my brother, bye, Regalia. Hello? I'm not saying he's a political party participant. I'm saying politically biased. Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to contribute on the program again. It's always a pleasure to be part of this program. Yeah, so my contribution this evening is on the behavior of the Archbishop, as well as the behavior of the party members, that is PF. So I will start by commenting on the behavior of the PF leaders and some of the members. This political party called PF, I think, started crumbling after the death of our President Sata, the founder.
Yes.
After Sata died, I think it attracted a lot of criminals, and it's the reason why we saw a lot of things going wrong in this political party. So people became so comfortable committing crime during Lungu's regime. And I feel it's the reason why most of them are still bitter, because they were very comfortable that time. Okay? So, and the other people some of us who had an opportunity to see some of these joining PF, some of them started joining at the time the boat was sinking. So these people had just started eating, and that's when everything went wrong. It's a reason why they are so bitter up to now, because some of them who were actually supplying in the air, they were still expecting their money. They had not yet received their money for supplying in the air. And we know them, and we have seen how bitter they are about this current government. They are so uncomfortable to exist in this current regime, because it's a government of laws.
I am waiting.
So they are not,
my sister,
not comfortable.
My sister, I'm waiting to see how you are bringing my Archbishop in your points. I would like to hear that.
Yes. So now I'm coming to the point of the Archbishop. The conduct of the Archbishop Alick Banda is really not good, and it's not representing the church very well. More especially the Catholic. The way he's conducting himself is really disheartening, and it's not inspiring to the non-Christians. This now explains why the Lungu family are behaving in the way they are behaving, because the man does not preach love. He does not preach forgiveness. He does not preach peace. So it's the reason why the Lungu family are actually behaving. They are actually behaving in the same manner Archbishop is behaving. It's really disheartening, and we need to be very careful with some of these church leaders with the way they are conducting themselves. They are not really inspiring, like to the crowd, you know. These are the people we need to be looking up to. But the conduct of the Archbishop is really disheartening, to say the least.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
So that is what I wanted to contribute, and thank you so much for explaining to us and everything that you are doing.
Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tayali.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you so much, my brother. I will go straight to the point.
Yeah.
Because I've listened to your discussion very well.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, I am Catholic myself, and I am very disappointed with the behavior of the Archbishop, because from the time the Patriotic Front gained their political power in Zambia, I think the Archbishop has driven the Catholic Church to one side, and he did not even care how some of his members who are not Patriotic Front would feel. So this is the man that we look up to as the holder of the Catholic Church in our country. And I was very disappointed with the development of his behavior towards the former president. We do not credit friendship. It was okay for him to be friends with the head of state, but it is very wrong for him to come out openly in the country to show us his political side, because as a man that we look up to as a church, we are in total disappointment. And I'm talking like this because I feel pained, because I know the Catholic faith and I know the church that I have been worshiping in. So it is very disappointing. And what I want to say about this case is that when you look at how openly he came out to discredit the president Hakainde Hichilema and his government, because his statements are there on social media and do not even need to look somewhere else. As a Zambian, I think we should be a people who do not run away from the truth. No matter how much we run away from it, it has a way of turning tables down to bring us together. This priest, the Archbishop, was the man that personally as Catholic I expected to stand in between to bring reconciliation in a country between those that left power and these that are in power now. But to my surprise, the Archbishop is always one-sided in every statement that he has spoken. And this sermon does not come up as a surprise to me as a citizen of Zambia, number one. Second, it does not come as a surprise. So he's in position of vehicles that are evidence of proceed of crime. So it is not wrong for him to go and be answerable. Number one, because he has to go and explain how he acquired what he has. Because when the ZRA donate, they donate to individuals. They donate to an organization or society. But now in this case, he is in possession of properties that were supposed to be donated to as an association, not an individual. So I think it is wrong for the SP president, Frederick Messe, to come up and ask the Catholics to go and escort the Archbishop as to answer his sermon. I think that's okay, because the sermon does not call the Catholic. It calls an individual Alick Banda because of what he has done. As an individual, even when Jesus Christ comes, we are not going to be answerable on other people's behalf.
Thank you, my brother. Let me, please, my brother, wind up. Wind up. Let me. I want to accommodate more cause.
This is my last point, President Tayali. No one is above the law. When there is a proceed of crime as a country, we should see to it that it is cleared. And if we want the government to fight corruption, we should not bring politics when it is not due or where it is not due. Let the law take its course. If the Archbishop has properties that are proceed of crime, let him answer as an individual. Personally, as a Catholic, I am disappointed and I am not going to go follow this man to where he has to answer his own crime. I thank you, Mr. Tayali.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes, Bonatari.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Bonatari. Yes,
evening.
thank you. My cousin, I think you are another computer just like HH. I don't have a lot to say, but just to encourage you that you help the upcoming politicians in this country. There is a vacuum here, as to say to so. There is a very big vacuum, Mr. Tayali, that we need such courageous people like yourself. You see, you are a Catholic, but what you have said, Bwana Tayali, today is the truth and nothing but the truth. And you see, these Catholics, they are encouraging people to go against the government, forgetting that a lot of these mothers who go to Catholic, they have got children who are on free education, on bursaries 100%. So how would one think otherwise and go against someone who is feeding the children? So they are forgetting that, you see? So thank you very much, Bwana Tayali.
Thank you, my brother. Thank
for
you.
the word of...
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Riley. This is Chenda from Angola.
Please go ahead.
All right, yeah. I just want to cite one example in the past. I'm not very sure about the years, but I remember during the time that Mwanawasa was fighting corruption, and Chiluba was being investigated. I remember a time when Regina, the late, the former wife, I think before they married, she got some television set which came from State House.
Yeah.
She was investigated and prosecuted because of that.
Yeah.
How different is that from the Archbishop's case?
And by the way, taking something from you, in Malawi recently, one of the presidential aides was arrested and is actually in court because of his alleged getting dogs. Dogs. He's in court.
I don't know what is strange about that. The Archbishop is the one who was supposed to do due diligence before he received that gift.
And putting it in his name.
Recently there was a donation that the president wanted to make to the Catholic Church. He refused and he said he should not be receiving donations, while he himself received a dubious car. Let's not play double standard.
No, actually, I think that one was not the Archbishop of...
Well, on Monday, I don't know which day he's going there. Let him go and justify how he got that. And then the rest, the law will decide.
Yeah. No, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello,
yes. Yes, I'm going. Okay.
Opposition chobare chitata kwabo ushakwari funde bashikirira ndati kwa mtu wemukaramba wachirongano nangu atirefunde takuri kumuita police in report ili funde takwava iyo nangu syapano Archbishop Banda inatati mbaso kenga bale upano kuteko kwa PF bwari fumapo ngabali konkenye poko bomba no buteko kuwaishapo kumafefeya noti kula ngo kwati bareko pota ko fimo muta sitemeno awo wantu yana pali opo bali wa Archbishop bali ngo musyashi wabo nti musyashi wabo nti afiro kula no kuleta ekibote pakati kabana bakwe bomba bene ba bishop wesu bamoneka kwati baba mu politics kwati baka dala chongalino cha PF anditeko chifiri okubeshe kuntungurusha chingano cha mapepo yakwalesa nawe tafata chifiri okubeshe bena bafuire nangu pali ama issues belaita pa social media ba bishop wesu tibapanga appointment bayamona na kateka balande chikumukino kyapwira na kulya kuli abantu ba opposition cheso murechita muleturanga se okweba nimwe mkeza mukuchitesya iligo pantu mulesiminishe iligo uko batitwalirire obuteko bwiralanda pasi kitike kivi nawe teko kifiri okubeshi bashikia wesu bombe n'umutende na totera
chismo mko yana totera hello
Get bye bye. Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. Precious, how are you?
I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm not happy every time when you talk about this issue of Archbishop Banda, like maybe it's political. But Bishop Banda is not political. As you know that even in time of Balungu, that time when Baka in the Shema, he was arrested. But Bishop Banda, he's the one who went there to talk to Balungu, and Baka in the Shema, he was released. So why should Baka in the Shema see that Bishop Banda today as his enemy? Let's face reality here. But Bishop Banda is a man who don't want to hide. Is a person who don't want to pretend. In fact, he is a concerned citizen. So now when you were saying that you have seen Archbishop Banda is always siding the opposition, he greets the... So you want him to hate all the opposition leaders? You want him not to be greeting them? The truth is, Baka in the Chilema is the one who is not good. Bakande Chema is fighting everyone who is telling him the truth, and he wants to be punishing innocent people, which is not right. Bakande Chema, if he was a good person, he was supposed to know that all the bishops, they've got the right to be blessed by any leader in government. So why should they start now finding fault in him just because it was Varungu who was in power that time when the Archbishop was recognized? What is the meaning of that? But if you love this government, you were supposed to encourage and advise Bahamkainde Chilema to tell him that this is the time he's supposed to make peace and unity. That man is the president of this nation. Is a father to each and everyone. Now, if we can now stand and start fighting the people who was there for him before he became the president, even in God in heaven, he cannot be happy with him. This is why you see sometimes you think like, myself, I hate this government. I don't hate this government, but I hate what is happening in their government. Bakande Chilema, the time when he was in power.
Precious,
was in power. No,
Precious, if you can wind up so that I can take other calls.
No, let me finish. I need to tell you, Mr. Tayali. I need to finish so that you can understand.
Yeah, so finish you so that I take other calls.
I have to tell the truth, Batayali.
Okay.
Bakande Chilema is protecting the criminals, but he wants to be punishing innocent people. Why is it up to now he's failing to instruct officers to do what is right, to arrest those who was gassing? He keeps on saying that it was MAPF. But why is he not concerned on the criminals who was gassing innocent Zambians? But he went ahead and signed for the bill that he told the nation that it's a poison. It is him who was all over social media telling the people that that bill is a poison. So because Archbishop Banda, he condemned that, that's why he want to hate him. No. We should learn to tell the truth, Mr. Tayali. If you want God to open doors for you, start telling the truth.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Hello? 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 Hello?
Brother, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, if you remember last time what I said. Last time I said that the hatred was coming from church. Instead of the church to help to bring peace, unity, love to the nation, it tended to be the one which was now creating hatred amongst the Zambians. I'm not speaking because I support HH or because I'm UPND, but on a fair ground. The church shouldn't be involving itself into politics. So, this is very unfortunate. We never thought that such thing can happen in our country, Zambia, the so-called Christian nation. Now, this has been allowed to happen, and it's a huge embarrassment to our neighbors and the world at large. This Dr. Bishop Alick Banda could have avoided this, but he has been so strong in supporting the opposition and condemning the ruling party. That qualified him to be now a political opponent. So the man should not cry foul today. Let him just go and face the law, because in this nation no one is above the law. We are all below the law. So we say that, my brother, keep on doing good. We love you, we pray for you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You see, you see, like somebody has said, it's an embarrassment. Anyway, let me just. Hello? 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 You know, in my view, I would strongly advise that, you know, we humble ourselves. We humble ourselves, particularly, you know, the Archbishop. We humble ourselves and take this matter cautiously. Otherwise, it will be very embarrassing to have an Archbishop appearing at the magistrate. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Boss mo awombasan.
Mkaima wombeni.
Awena na tukajibu mbepo pale ya shilingi kama chao chesu.
Mkwa.
Cho ningalanda poine chakwe kwa bati number 1. Ifunde tara panjirwa abalanda. Ifunde tara panjirwa abalanda. Ifunde tara panjirwa omuntu wonse. Ba bishop bakwilevaya in his capacity as a Zambian citizen, not as a church. Ero ngachari chako bati fwewa mokwe bashia ku church, it will be very difficult to come ku church ngato amona intungusha kirongani no church tabiero in such a way that Tayali encourage ku bashia ku church ukambuka ku church. When you receive something, for example, if I said which is suspected to be a proceed of crime, you are actually also an accomplice. So, chili papa kuya fino kuya asuka ukumpa interview for itenda chapwa. Ero wambia walelanda tukeme wonse tukaye mkushindika wa bishop. Inene mulanda ngana kana pango mulandu. Mushawa Fred baralonda ati na tumushindike oyu mukukatuye so tumweforanda ku court. Ba politician we wonfia issue ya ba bishop even ni political mileage bakwilese wa mkuu ku bantu baranda manifesto. Hello, church ni president wa number 7 mucharo cheso. Amafunde ali yasanga church no kuyasha istanga afiko yakafumapo mu 2031 akayasha akeso omuntu mbi tukakunkanya poko onfe bafunde amoyene nota balanda nga babeta ku court bena baya abawakankana nga babeta ati munshindike ishileya church. The issue is about an individual to go and attend that interview. If it should be treated as an individual, personal capacity, not as a church. So it will be very difficult for some of us for a church to come to church. Okay, in conclusion, Yesu Kristu shakwete sambi no mulando ali mwitire kuri Herod na Farao bamuluburisha wati mo muntu no mulopane nkande afitenge ingwe.
Yo na tote
ko basta attend the interview chapwa if ya konkaponga wabasanga ati kuri charge. He has to be charged, go to court, prove himself innocent. Chapwa for life if we are in the mafunde ya charo rule of law. No one is above the law.
Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, am I through to the program at
Yes, you are through.
Okay. This is Venon Piri from Banamkuba constituency, Ndola, Kanonga Brain Center. Hello?
Yes.
Mr. Tayali. Kutika kuri program yemu, ndini konka mosana. If you see these people that are calling, praising you, if you scrutinize them properly, you hear that nyaba bantu abali against him. Bishop Banda stood firmly defending Akainde Ichilema, President Akainde Ichilema, time President bali ku prison. Papa, it is the opposite way. We can see that the church is not partisan. The church defends the truth. And then what are we have put against what you are supporting? Murevala mwaumfero mwaputura. Na chinyomvu mwachita kuti vana varedya vachiraranda pale. Murevala mwaumfero mwaputura. Chivi ocho valechita ba government avarero. They are supposed to, we are not saying they are not respecting the bishop, they are, but they would have called him secretly. Those people they communicate with, you know. Ngaba itumilela mafoni balanshanya. Not if you baleta pamwera ukusebanya kwati balefo ukusebanya olukuta, no.
My brother. My brother. Let's engage. My brother. My brother. My brother. Ina abantu ukunjarukira abantu kale bambo kunjarukira. Lelo ban supporta banjarukira. So whatever wafia, it's the nature of politics. Efo ya politics. Now, let's engage on the Archbishop. A number of people have spoken about, no, he stood firm to defend Hakainde Ichilema. I don't remember Archbishop Alick Banda issuing a statement in as far as Hakainde Ichilema is concerned at that time. Let me tell you the facts behind that. The one who was in front defending Hakainde Ichilema, it was Archbishop Mpundu. Teres Mpundu was the Archbishop at that point, and is the one that was really speaking out and even going to Mukoveko. It is in Ifeakovati, he chose others to go with him. It was not really to say that Alick Banda was strongly yes, he was part of the 3 bishops that went to see Hakainde Ichilema in jail. But then, if you talk about his criticism, let me finish. If you talk about his criticism during the time of PF, give me a statement which was issued by Alick Banda criticizing Edgar Lungu in the same way that is criticizing Hakainde Ichilema during the time of PF. Tell me a time when Alick Banda issued a statement against Edgar Lungu, criticizing him, calling him, you are playing with fire. This government has become rogue. Tell me.
Okay, let me just come in with Tayali. I'm glad that I'm speaking to a Catholic who has been to a seminary before.
Respond to my issues. Forget about my Catholicism. Respond to my issues.
Now, what I have to tell you about Tayali, a statement issued by a bishop represents the Catholics. That's what we believe in the canon law.
Okay.
If the statement has been issued by the Pope,
look,
it represents the Catholics.
Listen. No. I don't lecture me on those. Don't lecture me. I'm telling you, give me a statement. Remind me of a statement which was issued as strongly as he has been issuing. Give me a statement. Give me a statement. Give me a statement. I'm talking about political bias. So show me that Alick Banda is not biased. Show me.
Because of what?
Let's talk about the issues. And therefore, give me a statement. I didn't cut his line. He cut his line. Hello? Hello? Yes.
Matari.
Yes.
Since sometimes if you find a manga chatting an atuma, then never, Kona Kalimokati Demikalipira. Ababantu Bandiaba. I don't know where they lose the memory. They lose it from. Who was over to Aquata? Who was the Shiva Kalama? Anyway, Uncle Steve on the line. Sachila for no good man. But that man who was called, who is trying even to lecture you, to say, okay, no, we'll have to have and whatever. Akapanga platform yakwe na tukulisha tatulefa ko ubufi elo muntu alelo ndolula pachinto each first. You know what I do first thing first, but even for me to come on the platform, there's a person who I did the story now and what is behind the story. Even when you comment now you start contradicting, maybe you are contradicting yourself. I can be able to convince you to tell you what there is this, there is there, there is there, there is there. I think this is what we are supposed to do as Zambians. We are helping each other. The point is, you brought this topic. It's not you talking. It's not you talking. This story is in the public domain. Number one, he's there. It's because of the same issues of the vehicles. That's the point number one. Point number two. Mushe wa Alick Banda. Wali kwa tama powers ea kwa taida oti saina president as him. No. Let us divide and separate these matters. We want to acquire. Either if I can tell you to be specific, me, Mpepe la pa St. Matthias Mugomba, Maripeshwaka, Lucas Road. We are all Catholics here. But are we going to say that just because you are Catholic, it's because you're speaking for me, then then I fall in your line because you are Catholic? Let us not contradict the issues here. The issue here is same issues of vehicles. It's not haka in the chilema. And if you heard the statement from Wakuteki, without knowing, that person, what do you call them? What whispers, but what do you call them? What is this way? Anyway, but no. And we don't, like the way the other person said, Amariwise, you have to pick Amariwise. You, as an Archbishop, no, we say you only as Archbishop, what is suspicious. Is it right for you just to receive it? If you do it suspicious. And we are calling him for him to come and give us the first-hand information. What happened? This vehicles in a question mark.
Please wind up. Please wind up so that I can pick other callers.
Thank you very much. For mine, I'm just helping you and even to help other people to understand this matter. Otherwise, the party contradiction in you say this issue is clear and straightforward. Thank you very much.
Hello? Hello?
Mr. Tayali, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Yeah. I think let's not make issues here. After Archbishop Banda, it's not being posed this. Either he's eating someone because he has been criticizing government. From the Archbishop Banda, he has every right, constitutionally or otherwise, to criticize the government. But then, those are not the issues that is being summoned for. The issues that we are taught even I think the Director General of DEC, I think he had a briefing. It is in connection with the vehicles. So we should, in fact, Mr. Tayali, we should not even waste time to start discussing other issues that I think are just a fiction of people's nation. Because I think the DEC director was very clear, was very categorical over the issues that I think they are summoning for. Yeah. Then secondly, I think we also have an opposition. I think that has no direction. What do I think? It's like whenever they hear the civil society are saying this, they want also to jump. They hear, oh, the bishop who has been caught, they want to jump on that. So they have no agenda, they have no direction, and they want to find the relevance to everything. So which is, I mean, there are a lot of things that the opposition by now can be articulating, the things that probably this government is struggling to do, other than wanting to find relevancy in non-issues like this one. So let Bishop Banda go and answer to the charges that are leveled against him. And if it's cleared, all of us, we are going to be happy that, no, I think the man of color is a man of integrity. He never benefited in an illicit way. So where is the fuss about this? I don't understand it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Evening, boss. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yes. Denzo konka pamene mwayamba fika pali manja apa. I think chikulu chabe wa president musafuna kuti vantu vonse vakukondeni pamene mukamba chilungamo. Wati vantu vanamukana Yesu Kristu, but anali kuvapolesa, anali kuchita miracles. So the point is, what you are saying is just correct 100%. The bishop, nenima yakon kama issues ya Bishop Alick Banda, yamankala political. So the bishop is a politician. And then semengati ndine bakulu ba Catholic. It was better kubachosa ba Alick Banda. Alick Banda want to be a politician. He's a politician. He's helping politicians because how come when Fred Membe is also mentioning to say we are going to escort him? Why? Walimo mu leadership yao ni pamene wakambasa. So he's a politician and then he has to be ready to face some consequences. HH is a politician. Moreover, the bishop, he was supposed to pray for this country. He was supposed to pray for the peace and the love. But he's working against as if he is a politician. So let me be ready to face some consequences. As I facing some consequences because he has chosen to be a politician. So I think in India, you're 100%, and we are following you. Even Makola Ziwambidi, they are seconding to say him has to go. Let him go and be answerable. So thank you so much, President and
Ziko. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right. Yes, a quick one. I just wanted to comment on the cause by the socialist president and the citizen first president who are calling on masses to escort the Archbishop on Monday to the DEC offices. I think the cause are uncalled for. The other cause, when a person is summoned, let the Archbishop go there as a person and not as an institution. I've seen a lot of people commenting to think it's an attack on the church, but when the Archbishop was receiving the gift, he did not disclose that the church had received. So I feel
he even put it in his name.
Uncalled for.
He even put it in his name.
To come and devote the church to God. The church must be innocent, and this is not an attack, and this is not the harassment as some people are calling it. Let the law take its course, just like our former head of state, Mr. Mwanawasa, used to say, the long hand of the law will catch up with anyone who is at fault. So if the...
Oh, sorry, Lusaka. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, President Tayali.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'd like to contribute on this issue.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I think my point of view would be most of the people that are calling to contribute, those more especially criticizing DC, they do not have any data. DC sits on a lot of information than these who are contributing, just criticizing. For record's sake, when Alick Banda was found with that vehicle, he surrendered it. So DC are not saying that he stole the vehicle. DC are saying that vehicle is among some of the vehicles that were illegally obtained or illegally, given out. That is the point there. DEC is just an investigating wing. It is not a court, and they've not arrested Dr. Banda. So the summon is just like any other, summon to any citizen for the sake of DEC gathering information that they need around that same issue. I don't know why people are so apprehensive. Secondly, these political leaders that want to accompany, my advice would be, when political leaders move, they move with cadres. We saw what happened when the current president was summoned to go to, is it police headquarters? You saw, what happened there. Some reactions and people lost their lives. So you don't necessarily control cadres. Cloud, the others are excited, the others are drunk. When they are in that same group, you can be infiltrated by those that just want to cause a problem. Now, this is an election year. Imagine you are working with Dr. Alick Banda to DC. The cadres that are also accompanying you, others are drunk. In the process, there's a confusion, maybe other, public, other members of the public are caught in that crossfire of that confusion, and something happened. You, the political leaders in that, will be the first to be, summoned or arrested. And this is an election year. If you go in now, you must be rest assured that you will not come out until after election.
Then you start see that. Then you start complaining to say, no, the government is silencing the opposition.
No. Alick Banda has been summoned alone. On that summons is showing his name alone. Even the white book that the Director General mentioned there, here is and it does not say the Catholic Church. No, it is in the name of Alick Banda. And it's not showing Bishop. It's saying Alick Banda. Those are the names on the white book. So we are just calling him so that he can give us the side of his story.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother.
So what is the matter there? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello?
Hello? Wasikia chunguro mkwai.
guy. Shani Vani. Hello? Hello? Ayaptuka. Call again. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, listen.
Shani.
We know. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. I just wanted to say something. I think there's a caller who mentioned that this case has been going on for a long time, and why is the government bringing it up? I think the fact that it's been going on for a long time, and Archbishop knew that this thing was brewing, I think he should have taken the initiative to say that this thing will spiral out of control. It's the same thing that and the item that you bought. If they're saying that we are recalling Toyotas, you will take an interest in that which Toyota to say. Maybe Toyota that I've been driving is amongst the recalls. And you are going to take that initiative to be able to go there. So the fact that this case has been going on, and it was well publicized that there were a number of vehicles, I think the very fact that it was even mentioned that his vehicle was one of the, because now it's allegedly two, I think he should have gone there to say that, in your case. I don't know whether they form part of the investigations or not. But if they do form part of the investigations, this is how I obtained this thing. Because everybody is talking about, making comparisons about how the church has been behaving over a period of time. But this is not the question that is on the spotlight today. The question that is on the spotlight today is that somebody is in possession of items that are stolen items. And by law, if you are in possession of items that are stolen, you are supposed to be called. There is one way where the question can go further to say that, were you knowledgeable of the fact that these items were stolen or were not stolen? If they were knowledgeable, there's a provision for the law enforcement to be able to exercise discretion to say, to what extent did you know or did you not know? And further steps can be taken. But as it is right now, it is not disputed that those vehicles have been deemed as stolen. And it's unfortunate that I think one of the reasons why everybody is saying that Vahako a little bit politically compromised is that it seems that he wants to take advantage of certain situations to get people to rally behind them in opposition to the government, Just like in this case is now becoming an issue of the government versus the Archbishop, which is not really the case. The questions still beg to be answered. How did those vehicles find themselves in his name and in his possession? And he should be able to elaborate that. If he didn't want this thing to go further, he should have taken initiative. And I think as a nation, we need to give this man, Hakainde and the UPND government, the respect that they deserve. We can't expect them, but you want to be the one to be approached. I think we have to be a little bit above board and begin to, to just take ownership and responsibility over these things. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. And like the last caller has said, I actually spoke about this. The Archbishop would have been more proactive. He should have been more proactive, to come out even in the public and explain. But he has been quiet. Why has he been quiet? Hello?
Hello, Bonatari. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, how are things?
Good.
All right, okay. Do you know that there is this information now that has been to say that the bishop was poisoned? Are you aware the call has just come from Vatican to say that the bishop was poisoned? He went to Vatican and they removed that poison.
Where have you gotten that?
I'm telling you all
don't use my platform. Where have you gotten that message that the Vatican said? Iwe. Nakana, don't use my platform to peddle lies here. Which Vatican?
No,
Who issued a statement?
It's true.
Who issued a statement from Vatican? I'm asking you, who issued a statement from Vatican?
The bishop, one of the fathers from Vatican called just now for a few minutes.
Whichever father said, tell him to hell. To hell. Come on, don't even bring Vatican in this nonsense. Come on, Allah. No, I'm not going to allow you back. You want to bring in Vatican? Vatican. You think Vatican comes in this to my petty issues? He was poisoned. They removed poison from Vatican. When? Don't use my platform to peddle lies. Imagine this guy. He was poisoned by who? And Vatican issuing a statement. Nonsense. You people. Some of the excuses you come up. Vatican.
Hello, Mr. Tayali. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I missed a lot of your discussion this morning, but all I want to say that the Archbishop Alick Banda is not above the law. Like any other citizen, he should cooperate fully with the relevant authorities, the ACC or the DEC, whoever they are, and allow due process to take its course. This matter raises serious questions about transparency and accountability. And if the vehicle was truly intended for the church, why was it registered in an individual's name?
Yes.
This alone, to me, creates concerns and also undermines the public trust of the Catholic Church. So it would be important to hear what guidance or action is being taken by the Apostolic Nuncio. What is the Nuncio saying about this, given that he has a role to play in the church as an oversight and governance, So silence, to me, only fuels speculations. So the religious leaders must remain above partisan politics. He's too political. He should avoid conflict. If he wants to avoid conflict, he should just stay put. So accountability for me and transparency and equal application of the law are essential for the public confidence. So regardless of position or influence, the bishop must go and answer to those issues that are at the ACC and DEC. I'm actually worried. Why does the bishop think he's the only religious leader in Zambia who we have to listen to? This man is quite political. To me, if you ask me very well, it's too much. It's all about the bishop all the time. I think he should just resign and go and become political. Those would be my words. Bishop Alick Banda, resign and go and join the PF, since they're the people that you align yourself with. Thank you, Mr. Tayali.
Thank you. Straight to the point, indeed. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Tayali.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Moses Tatya, calling you from Lusaka.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Tayali, whereby previously no one is above the law. Moreover, Jesus Christ, he was a politician. And Jesus didn't refuse to be questioned by the government. And Jesus Christ, he proven that he was clean. Despite the attacking of the government, because Jesus Christ, he was representing the government of heaven. And the Pharisees, they were representing the government of here on earth. So, whereby to Mr. Banda, let him be questioned. If he's guilty, let justice prevail. We should not be hiding in a form of being the preacher. No. We are stealing if he steals. If he's guilty, let him be what? The law face him. If he is not guilty, he will be free. So now once our tonganya protest is just to provoke the police. You see? So let justice prevail despite. Remember, the Bible says that righteousness and justice is the foundation of God's kingdom, according to the book of Psalms. So let justice prevail to each and everyone. As long as you are a Zambian, once you steal, let the law face you. Because there was speculating information, the Pope was summoned Vatican to be questioned.
I don't want speculations. I'm avoiding speculations. I don't want speculations. Me, I like to, speak about real issues, not speculations. Hello? 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 I want to avoid as much as possible, drawing Vatican into this. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Just want to contribute something within a minute.
Please go ahead within a minute.
The first thing is insoni ni umuntu, because why am I saying so? President Hakainde Hichilema in opposition benefited from Dr. Alick Banda by being defended, and he was there standing firm. Now today, because Dr. Alick Banda is against the UPND, everyone is saying is being political. I think this is unfair and it is uncalled for.
Mr. Banda, wait a minute, Mr. Banda, I want to ask you, give me a particular incident where Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda issued a statement against Edgar Lungu in the same way that he does to Hakainde Hichilema. Give me one instance where he issued a statement. Give me one instance.
I wouldn't give you, but I will tell you that I remember that when President Hakainde Hichilema was in
this issue that people are talking about, Hakainde Hichilema when he was in prison, the one who was issuing statement, it was Archbishop Teres Fompundu is the one that was issuing statement. Alick Banda never did.
Go on.
Alick Banda never did. He only went with Teres Fompundu when they went to prison, but he never issued a statement. He was not critical to Edgar Lungu as he is now. That's where the political bias is. And no one among the callers has been able to convince me on that point. Me, I'm talking about political bias. I'm talking about political bias. And I've cited, examples. I've cited instances which has led me to say Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda has been more biased towards the PF than the UPND and Hakainde.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, Vatali?
Fine, thank you.
Straight to the point. The bishop actually is just wasting time. If I were him, he should just hire you forming as a strategist to forming a political party. That bishop is political. And the last time I checked, no one has immunity besides the President, Nama MPs. So he doesn't have immunity. He should just show up and let everybody know how that vehicle ended to be registered in his name. Otherwise, he should hire you. You help him. Thank you.
Maybe he can be our alternative presidential candidate. Since we are looking for a presidential candidate.
He should hire you as his strategist, how he can be a successful politician, because he's just learning now. Yeah. So he needs you.
Thank you. Hello?
Archbishop Dr.
Hello? Hello, please move away from the other phone that you are using to listen to us. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Good evening, President Tad.
Good evening.
Apa ni kukongo mila kukongo na vera bwino che kupeza mu programa yamwe.
Okay.
Yeah, what I can say, va Alick Banda ngati vakonka Yesu bafunika vakonka mastepu yake mumeana mudanesi tidaona Yesu anakana upasi wa vintu vamene tiyafunika muntu wa Mulungu kupokerera Yesu anakana manje veve vanapokerera bwanji mahayiraki ya which means he is not a real Christian. Uyo muntu Alick Banda, if you are talking about Alick Banda, treat him as a cadre priest.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Hello? A theologian from Congo. Hello?
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, okay, let me just straight to the point. Nobody has been able to pinpoint to point where Bishop Alick Banda criticized the I remember properly that during the time of the Longa and during the time of Catholic, actually, Archbishop Alick Banda, one of his preachings preached against the claim that you have criticized. That is totally now. It's insinuating that he was the one who.
My brother, I want to listen to you. Are you maybe it's like you are using maybe headsets or the phone is on loud. Speak normally in the phone so that we can hear you properly.
No, I'm not using anything. I'm just speaking on my phone.
Yeah, but it's difficult. But come again so that I want people to hear your point. There is a feedback. Maybe move away from the phone. Maybe the phone that the other phone. There is a feedback which is distorting your phone. Move away a little bit. You see, there is that distortion.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so what I'm saying is that nobody is able to pinpoint where Alick Banda himself is. But contrary, there's a time when actually Alick Banda even when he was in the opposite. This is the time of Catholic. I remember proper. That's about the things I was doing around it. When preaching saying that you have got blood in your hand, that was the one who was Catholic. So he has been a critic of this even when he was doing the opposite. That's one thing. That's one way. That's one thing to understand. He has been a critic even when the guy was.
Okay.
So contrary to that, I know everybody has got people who have, for instance, your basic caller is actually Charles Campbell. By the way, I know people just about it's my job. I know everybody. I know most of people. The way I'm saying call with Charles Campbell. That's the first one. There are people who are also like Alick Banda and so on. The people he loves and the people that doesn't love. That's fine.
Okay, the network has been very difficult for me to hear what that caller was trying to say. It has been, I didn't get him clearly, but I think he was saying that there was a time when Alick Banda spoke out when Edgar Lungu was in power. I think it was relating to something like Gassi. I think that's, but I didn't hear him very well. Hello?
Mr. Tayali, good evening.
Good evening.
I want to appreciate the work that you are doing, and I want to tell you that you are a real politician because you are always very transparent. Now, coming to the issue of about Alick Banda, the director of DEC, I'm sure he clearly mentioned that when they gave the summons to his representative, they expected them to take that ceremony privately. But when the bishop received that ceremony, he was the one who came out in the public domain to announce it instead of him to go privately. So I don't think the Dek people, there is anything wrong they have done. And the other issue is that I don't understand why all the time the law enforcement, they do their work, then they always talk about the president, which is very, very, very unfortunate. Otherwise, we appreciate the efforts you are doing to sensitize people in Zambia. So keep it on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure.
There is a message to say, why can't the Vatican remove the Archbishop? Well, the church has got its own way of doing things, and the church does not act, impulsively. No, the church does not act impulsively, especially when you talk about the Vatican. I mean, they follow issues attentively, and they also recognize that, the church is not made of perfect people. There is this emphasis. So the church, the people, the leaders of the church are just human beings like the rest of us. So the church is not so quick, to pass judgment on people. And so sometimes you might see that, no, why is, the Vatican is not acting? It is because they realize that the leadership of the church, or the body of Christ, which is the church, is made of imperfect human beings. And they are quite patient, when dealing with matters. But when it becomes necessary that they should act, they do act. So in this instance, I'm sure the church is looking at these issues closely, and I think, if need be, they will act accordingly. I think that is how I can respond. Hello?
Act accordingly. I think that is how I can respond.
Hello? Please move away from the other phone.
Hello, Mr. Tayali. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I think the point is what you've stated. You see, just as we have imperfect people in society, so do we have imperfect people in the church. So we should not view our brothers and sisters serving in certain positions in the church to be angels who have no mistakes. We have records stating that some church organizations were even involved in slavery, and they have apologized to that effect. So, so do we have also a record of church organization being involved in genocide in Rwanda? Therefore, we should not view these people serving in the church as angels who can never commit a sin. They are human beings. They are bound to make mistakes. And as and when they make mistakes, they should be corrected. So for now, we should just allow and give gratitude to our law enforcement to do their duty and see to what they have to probe as far as this case is concerned. Of course, that goes to say they should not be checked. For us to start stating this and that may be too early. Thank you very much, Archbishop.
Thank you. And I want to wind up on this because I think we have been on this for quite some time. Let me just make a summary of what we have been discussing. You know, from my point of view, I believe that if Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda had a different attitude towards President Hakainde Hichilema and the government, I don't think we would be where we are today. I think Archbishop Banda has somehow made things worse to bring it to where we are. How? He has done this by being politically biased, where he has aligned himself to the Patriotic Front, especially Edgar Lungu, who clearly was his personal friend, and the Patriotic Front, and maybe in general the opposition. He has shown bias. He has shown that he is not happy with the current government. And he's not happy with the current government, not because the current government has done 1, 2, 3, 4 issues, because those issues would have been clearly outlined. Instead, what we get are general comments, general attacks on President Hakainde Hichilema and his government. And this has been seen in the way he comes out in his homilies. This has been seen in the way he comes out, in the letters that he writes and circulate on in the media. Of course, doing this has made him look like a politician. And surely, like many callers have really spoken out as well, Alick Banda is perceived like a political rival. He's perceived as a political rival. And he has even strongly come out that he is going to work against the government, because when you say the presidency is playing with fire, when you say this government has become rogue, must be stopped, what do you mean? What do you mean? It is clear that you want, to work, to decampaign the government. But when you do that, you invite trouble, because politics is trouble. Politics, anywhere in the world, when you become excessively political and you are not even a politician, you are inviting problems. I strongly believe that this issue would have not reached where it is. I strongly believe that if he had a different attitude, he would have been called quietly, and engaged and see how this matter can be resolved. But he has taken a different angle. He has been coming out in public, trying to win public sympathy, trying to cry a victim of persecution, so that the government can be seen as a bad government. Even this issue of the call-out, this call-out would have been handled quietly, but it was flashed on social media. Why flashing it on social media? Look how many politicians are now speaking, in his defense. This is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. But how does it help him in this case? He has been quiet. When this issue came up, he should have come out and, in the spirit of transparency, he should have given us the account on how this vehicle was given to him, who gave him this vehicle, how he changed it to his name, and how this vehicle was being used. He should have done that, but he has been quiet. And yet when they call him to say, please come and explain, he wants to cry out victim of persecution against, because this government of Hakainde Hichilema is a bad government. I don't think this is the right way that we should handle matters. And even at this point in time, if I can say anything, I would say, can the Archbishop really, I don't know how I can say this better, but can he humble himself? Can he humble himself so that this issue can be, analyzed, can be dealt out, can be dealt with properly? The issue of trying to flex muscles will not help. The issue of, trying to listen to these politicians, trying to play politics will not help. The best that would be is to engage government nicely, such that at the end of the day, we don't have a situation where Archbishop Alick Banda is going to be aligned to take plea in the magistrate, to have trial of, an archbishop. Don't think that the deck is bluffing, or they don't know what they are doing for them to call him. No, because others want to make it simple, to say, no, it was just a gift. Hey, what about this one? This one received a gift. This one received a gift. No. I don't think it is that simple. I don't think it's that simple. And how the Archbishop and those around him handle this matter will determine what will follow next. If they go flexing the muscle, using social media, using whatever, it might not end well. It might not end well. It might not end well. That's what I'm saying. This matter, I've looked at this matter. I'm emphasizing. If you play the arrogance, hey, no, the people, hey, whatever, hey, the Catholic Church, hey, you are fighting the Catholic, hey, this is the year of elections. Let me tell you, Hakainde Hichilema is not losing any sleep on his election. Hakainde Hichilema is not losing any sleep on his election. He is not losing any sleep. Archbishop Dr. Alick Banda, on Monday he can be locked up and nothing will happen. Hakainde Hichilema, elections will come, he will still win with a landslide victory. On Monday itself, if you want, I can even say, on Monday, Dr. Alick Banda can be locked up. Nobody will do anything. Nobody will do anything. Nobody. And on Tuesday, we can have elections with Alick Banda in jail. Hakainde Hichilema will still win an election. So if you think you are going to threaten Hakainde Hichilema with the elections, Alick Banda will still be in jail, and there will be election, and Fred Membe will stand. Fred Membe will get 0. I'm telling you. On Monday, Alick Banda kutiwa walonga to akwata my elections, even same day in the afternoon. Hakainde Hichilema iminina na ba Fred Membe abale supporter. You will get 0, ba Fred Membe. You would never get any votes out of this situation. Because some of you are thinking, no. Hakainde Hichilema is clearly guaranteed of winning the next election. There are not two ways about it. No two ways about it. We have, I mean, this is 2026. We're already in 2026. We only have a few months in between to have elections. And Hakainde Hichilema is clearly winning. So don't be arrogant and thinking to say, hey, whatever, because this is the statement that was also coming, from the Alick Banda. Like, no, you are facing fire, whatever. No, nothing. Just humble yourselves. That is my advice. Humble yourselves. Don't even go with people. Just go nicely. Muleseka no kuseka. Joke with those people. Engage them nicely. Give them their side of story. If there is something to negotiate, negotiate it. From the bottom of my heart, I wouldn't want to see my Archbishop standing in the magistrate taking plea. No. By all means, let's avoid that. That is my message tonight. My message tonight is that by all means, let's avoid a situation where our Archbishop will have to be lined up in the magistrate court. So please, Napapat, let us not be pompous here. Let us not be arrogant. Let us avoid that situation. Alick Banda, or anyone who is close to him, please, this is my humble plea that let us be humble. Let us see how we can navigate these issues. Even when you are choosing lawyers, don't go with arrogant lawyers. Don't go with arrogant lawyers. Don't go with political lawyers. Alick Banda, wherever you are, please don't go with political lawyers. In the Catholic Church, we have lawyers. I know a number of lawyers. Who are Catholics. Go with those. Don't take political lawyers. Don't take political lawyers. That's my advice. Don't take political lawyers. Go with lawyers that can be able to engage. Not arrogant lawyers like Makebi Zulu, like Sangwa. Sangwa is a political candidate. He is a presidential candidate. Don't go with Sangwa. Don't go with Makebi Zulu. Go with lawyers that can engage. We in the Catholic Church, we have lawyers. Please pick those lawyers that can go and engage. We don't want you to go to the magistrate. It is embarrassing enough just for you to feature at the magistrate. It is embarrassing enough. Forget about being convicted or being acquitted, because that will come 3 years from now. But by the very fact that you'll be lined up there going Kuma trial, it's embarrassing enough. It's embarrassing enough. I don't want to see my Archbishop in the dock. No. Please, na Papa. That is my plea. I mean, those are young people. Those are political juvenile. Those, Fred Membe is a frustrated man. He's a frustrated man. Don't listen to this kind of people. Sangwa is power hungry. Don't go with such people. Go with people that can be listened to. That is my advice to my Archbishop. That is my advice. I will repeat, even your attitude. I'm not saying that the Archbishop should not comment on national matters. No, he should. I'm not saying the Archbishop should not advocate for the people. He should. But the attitude, the language, why always write these secular letters and throw them in the media? I mean, I'm sure the president would not refuse to engage you if you picked up a phone, or if you send an emissary to say, please, I want to see the president. I don't think he would refuse. But this attitude of always writing things, throw them in the media, throw them in the media. No, that is not a good attitude. There are times when you can engage the president. Why write an open letter? Why not go to him and close the doors and engage him? You can do that. You can do that. There have been differences, but you can do it. If I can do it, me, even a politician, and as small as I am, if I can do it, if I can engage President Hakainde Hichilema quietly, and I don't even bring it to social media, why can't you do it as an archbishop? Why can't you do it? I'm really saying it. If me, as Chilufa Tayali, small as I am, a politician, I can be able to engage the government quietly and don't bring it on social media to say, hey, tuachirandefi. Why can't the archbishop do it? Why can't the archbishop do it? The archbishop can do that. The archbishop can do that, and it is not too late. Please engage in that direction. Go that direction. Much the flex some muscles kirikiti. That case may not be so good. That case, it may not be so good. It may not be so good. It may end badly. Please take a humble position. That is my submission for tonight. Thank you very much for following my program, and for those of you that called in, that participated, I'm very grateful. I've also seen that YouTube today has got a good viewership. I am also on TikTok, Chirutaya. So please, follow me there as well. Subscribe there. I want numbers there. I want to grow, my social media footprint. Not to embarrass people, but to engage. Not to insult Hakainde Hichilema, but to give, views that he can appreciate, that those people in government can appreciate. I'm not going to accept everything that the government is doing. No. Where they are wrong, I will definitely criticize them. But I have to do it, in a manner that at the end of the day, I can win souls and not lose them. That is my approach, especially in 2026. Thank you very much. May God bless all of you, and may God bless our country, Zambia. Good night and good morning. I know some of you are watching it's good morning. So good morning and bye for now.